What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. How are all of you lovely people doing? Hope you're having a great day. We're going to talk about Resto Shaman. This is far and away the healer that I play the most in the game. And we're going to look at the hero talents that are available to both sides of Resto Shaman. So if you're going to play Totemic, that's Resto plus Enhance. If you're going to play Farseer, that's going to be Resto plus Ellie. I apologize for my voice at the beginning of the video. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's it's messed up today, but I couldn't get it fixed before I started filming. So we're just going to go with it and hope for the best. We're going to compare the two specs, how good they are for healing, how good they are for damage, how good they are for mana management. This is something that's actually so important that a lot of people have not even talked about at all. For example, I'll just TLDR on the mana thing. I'll get to it later, but I think Totemic giving you access to a free healing rain is going to save you an astronomical amount of mana over the course of a dungeon run or in raid, wherever you are. So we're going to look at the efficiency of both of these trees as well, because that's a massive deal. Being able to have mana saving, cost reduction, spells that are going to help you push you further into a dungeon where you don't have to slow your team down by sitting and drinking, or on a raid fight when you don't get to drink at all. How long can you go before you're really in trouble and you have to use like a mana pot or whatever? That's actually a really important point. We're going to talk about that as well. Let's start with Farseer. I'm going to go over what the tree does, and I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of gameplay. It's kind of hard to show healing gameplay, but I do have some volunteer training dummies in front of me here, and they have they've set themselves on fire. They're ready to go. They've taken a lot of damage. I don't know how they did that, but we're here for it. Farseer. The whole thing with Farseer is creating ancestors. That's all you're doing. Call the ancestors. Unleash Life, in this case, calls an ancestor. There's also a second spell, which is the capstone, Ancestral Swiftness, which replaces Nature's Swiftness, and it also creates a ancestor to help you out. Now, what do the ancestors do? Well, they're going to cast an AoE spell or a single target spell if I cast an AoE spell or a single target spell. So I'll go Unleash Life. There's my ancestor. I'm going to cast my Healing Surge. He'll cast a Healing Surge, and then a Chain Heal. He'll do a Chain Heal. Okay? And that's it. And then he gives me a little Hydro Bubble at the end. That's Final Calling. You get a shield that gives you an Absorb, and then it slowly goes down over time. Okay, but that's the whole tree. I'm going to call my ancestors with Unleash Life, or I'm going to call them with Ancestral Swiftness. That's the whole tree. Now, might sound a little boring, but there's some cool little tricks that we can do here. I'm going to show you this in a second. Let's go through these talents. Ancestors have a 15% chance to call another ancestor when they expire. That's cool. Or their spells are more powerful. Okay, that's cool as well. We don't know how powerful their spells are at a baseline level. I'm sure that they're not casting a full-blown chain heal that does the same amount of I can't see this here. They're not casting a fully fledged chain heal. Let me just tell you that right now. It's probably like a 50% chain heal or something. I don't have my combat log. Here we go. Yeah, I can actually look at it here. Let's look at it here really quickly. So my chain heal, Unleash Life, Healing Surge. It's not even showing. It's not showing them at all, which is unfortunate. I don't know if I have to be in combat. That might be part of it. But the point is their stuff isn't even showing up here right now. I don't know why. It should be, but it's not. The point is their spells are not going to be 100% chain heal. That would be broken. Okay. When Ancestor is called, they reduce the cooldown of Riptide by 2 seconds. That's kind of cool. This one over here, you get a third charge of Riptide and a third charge of Lava Burst. This is both really great for damage. The Lava Burst one is obviously intended for the Elemental Shaman side of this tree, but even as a Resto Shaman, this is a great little buff for damage. And then you get a third Riptide charge, which is awesome. So then that means you can kind of go all in on Riptide if you want to. I could get rid of Ancestral Reach if I wanted to. Let's get rid of Overflowing Shores and put another point into this. So now my Riptides are about as strong as I can possibly make them. They are hitting for 30,000 up front and then 20,000. Remember, my item level is really, really low. Okay, really, really low. But remember, I get 3 charges of it now, so I can just keep spamming these things. My Healing Surge only hits for 50k. So I can sort of just cast Riptides a lot instead of casting Healing Surge. That's a massive mana saving thing. It's an efficiency thing. Okay, remember that. We're going to keep coming back to this. So instead of spending 13,000 mana on a Healing Surge, I can just keep riptiding people for 4,500 mana, basically, for, you know, it's 3 times less the cost. Earth Shield gets 3 charges and heals you for 25% more. Actually, not bad at all. 12 charges on Earth Shield is pretty good. That means you cast it a lot less, which is really nice. Okay. Or Nature's Guardian has its cooldown reduced and causes you to heal for an additional 5% of your maximum health. Nature's Guardian, I believe, cannot occur more than once every 40 seconds, I think. Something like that. So now it can occur every 30 seconds. So not terrible, but really we would like from a better defensive on Shaman, you know, for sure. But it's not terrible. Okay. Using spells with a cast time increases the duration of Spirit Walker's Grace or Spirit Walker's Aegis while you have Spirit Walker's Grace going. Increase your maximum mana by 5%. Actually, great. Actually, a really big deal. Yeah, that's actually huge. And then Tidal Waves can stack up to 6 times. This is bugged right now, but Tidal Waves is your passive right up here that says when you cast Riptide, you get 2 stacks of Tidal Waves. It reduces the cast time of Healing Wave, Chain Heal, or increases the critical effect of Healing Surge. So it's kind of like a wonderful passive to have going in the background. Right now, it's not working. There's 2 stacks. There's 4 stacks. There's an Ancestor. I cast Riptide again. It doesn't give me 6 stacks. It's not giving me 6 stacks, okay? The bottom line with this one is that you're gonna have this up all the time. Your Tidal Waves buff will never be down. So this might as well just say, think of it this way. This passive might as well just say your the cast time of Chain Heal and Healing Wave is always reduced by 20%. The critical effect chance of Healing Surge is always up by 30%, because I promise you, you're always going to have this passive rolling. So this is a little bit stronger than it might look at first glance. Like, you just always have faster chain heals. You always have a higher chance to crit on Healing Surge. Always. Like, that's awesome. Isn't that awesome? That's awesome. Okay. Increases the healing done by Healing Wave, Healing Surge, Wellspring, Downpour, Chain Heal. This is kind of dumb, but at the same time, you're forced to take Unleash Life with this tree. So you might actually experiment with Downpour. You might experiment with Wellspring. Maybe, who knows? Probably not with Wellspring, but there's a chance because you have this Unleash Life buff that you have to take anyway. Finally, of course, your Nature's Swiftness becomes Ancestral Swiftness, and it calls an Ancestor. Okay, so very simple tree. Not a lot going on there, okay? But here's one cool thing. You basically get a mini burst cooldown if you press Unleash Life and Ancestral Swiftness. And then if you've got Tidebringer ready to go, you're going to do 2 chain heals, and you're going to get 4 additional chain heals from your ancestors. Watch this. We go Healing Rain to drop the buff. Here we go. Let's go. I'm going to get my Riptides going. I got an Ancestor. Let's go Unleash Life and a Nature's Swiftness and Chain Heal. Chain Heal. Chain Heal. Chain Heal. Look how many chain heals I just pumped out. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I had 3 ancestors there. I have 3 bubbles on me. 3 bubbles, by the way, from the ancestors that spawn. That makes Hydro Bubble look a lot better. Like, insane. They can cast this. They can cast it on ally as well. They don't just cast it on me, by the way. But like, I'm telling you that even though they're not up for a very long time, getting 2 or like you get guaranteed 2 of them with this little mini burst cooldown. And then I got a 3rd one there for my Riptide. So like, I had 2 chain heals plus 2, 4, 6 additional chain heals. That's 8 chain heals, and 6 of them were free. So again, mana efficiency, that cost me nothing. I don't know how much they heal for because the combat log is all bugged and stuff, but the point is that, oh, never mind, it's here. Oh, it actually shows it here. The point is you can get so many chain heals for free that it's going to be insane. Okay, so look at this here. The Ancestors chain heal, one of the Ancestor chain heals did 54, 27, 27. That's 54. That's 100K. We'll call it 110,000. 110,000 healing. Okay. Okay. My chain heal. Did I do it? Let me just chain heal here. My chain heal. Oh, what happened to my actions? Oh my God. Did 13. Oh yeah, it puts Earth Living. Oh, that's bugged. Shouldn't be doing that. Maybe that was just lucky. It did 13, 30. That's 50. Plus 60 plus, so it's 100, it's like 160,000, 170,000 healing. So my chain heal did 170,000 healing. Okay, my ancestors chain heal did 100,000 healing, 110. That's insane. That's really good. That's like, it's like their chain heals are like 60% as good as ours, maybe a little bit higher, actually. 70%? That's one ancestor, guys. One. I had 3 of them, and they copied both the chain heals that I did for 6 additional chain heals. This is going to be an absolutely outrageous burst, like, cooldown that you have now. I know it doesn't look like much on the surface, but I'm telling you, you press Unleash Life, you press Ancestral Swiftness, you do chain heal twice, your whole raid is going to be like fine, or like at least your whole party in Mythic Plus is going to be really, really fine. Okay, I'm spitting all over the place. That's how excited I am. This is actually like deceptively strong. I think it's actually very good, even though it might not look like it at first glance. The other thing to remember is that you're getting these up all the time. You have a 45-second cooldown on Ancestral Swiftness and a 15-second cooldown with Unleash Life. I mean, it's just like it's a lot. The final note I want to make is what just happened is when I have my Ascendance rolling, if I get a proc on Deeply Rooted, or if I pop Ascendance myself, then I get all the healing that the ancestors are doing is getting copied. It's getting copied again. So you get an extra Riptide, which gives you an extra chance to proc Ascendance, and then you're getting all the healing that you're doing copied, which is very, very cool. It's really cool. So yeah, I think that this is actually like just really strong. I think that the Farseer tree is actually really strong for Resto. It gives you this amazing passive thing going on in the background. Yes, you do have to take Unleash Life, but I'm so sick and tired of people crying about this. Stop crying about having to take Unleash Life. Who cares? It's a 15-second cooldown. It does a lot of healing on its own, and it gives you this cool buff to play around. Yeah, you don't get undulation. It's not going to kill you. You're going to be just fine, especially with the amount of healing that's getting pumped out by these ancestors. So I've heard a lot of people complaining about Unleash Life. Just stop it. Stop complaining about this. It's going to be fine. You're going to want to press this because it gives you a free dude that's going to copy your spells, and it's going to be awesome. So the other thing that I want to say on a damage point of view is that Lava Burst gets a 3rd charge, which is actually going to be significant for single target damage, especially. I think our single target damage is going to go through the roof. So that's the last thing I want to say about that. Okay, let's switch over to Totemic. I don't want this video to run for 500 minutes, so we're going to do Totemic. Totemic is really cool, and I think that it's potentially even better than Farseer. This gives you a new totem that replaces Healing Rain. So your Healing Rain spell is now called Surging Totem. Now, Surging Totem is going to cast Healing Rain on allies. It's going to cast it on what as far as we know right now, the AI here is that it's going to cast it on the most like clumped up number of allies that you have, and it's going to cast it 3 times for you. 3 Healing Rains. Think about the efficiency of that. Healing Rain is an expensive spell. It's almost 13,000 mana. I get 3 of those for free. 13, 26, 39. It's almost 40,000 mana that I'm saving. 40,000 mana I'm saving because of 1 button. And every 20 seconds I get to cast it. So your Healing Rain is on the ground basically permanently. It's basically perma. The only issue I have with this is that you do not get to control where it goes. That's my only issue. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens, but that's my big issue right now, is that you don't get to control where it goes. Now, in terms of acid rain damage in Mythic Plus, that could be an issue. What if the Healing Rain doesn't go on the tank who's standing in front of all the mobs? What if it goes off to the side a little bit where one of my DPS players is like, I don't know. There could be some issues with acid rain. That's my only real problem with this. The rest of it though is great. I'm happy about this. This is a wonderful totem. It's really great. It does not interact with Totemic Surge. Even though Healing Rain becomes a totem, you cannot reduce the cooldown of this totem at all. It does not interact with any of the totems here. You can't recall it either, although I haven't, pretty sure you can't recall. Let me just try it here. There's my recall. My totem's down right now. I'm going to press Totemic Recall. It does not give me my Surging Totem back. So it just functions on its own. It doesn't interact with any of your other talents, but that's okay. It's very strong on its own, okay? It's very, very strong. Okay. Most of this stuff is not implemented yet, but it's still very strong anyway. Chain Heal jumps to a nearby totem once it reaches its max targets, causing it to bounce an additional time to a nearby ally. I watched Dratnos' video. He had a good point about this. That's going to make it bounce 2 more times because it bounces once to your totem, then once to an ally. That final bounce on an ally could be like basically minimal because Chain Heal reduces its healing each time it jumps. Like it might literally do 0 healing on that final jump if you think about it. Now, if you have High Tide active, it doesn't actually go down at all. Instead, it goes up by 10% with each jump instead of down. So if you take High Tide with Totemic Rebound, that's really strong. Because then it's going to bounce to the totem, and then it's going to bounce to another person. It's going to be bouncing like 6 times, 7 times, which means it's going to be increased by 10% on each jump. That's pretty wild, actually. So kind of a cool combo there. Let's go down the middle here. When Surging Totem is active, you get 3% more damage and healing. That's fine. While Ascendance is active, Surging Totem is more effective. That might actually be really strong because you actually do take Ascendance as a Resto Shaman. So you pop Ascendance, and then your Totem Healing Rain is really effective. Really, really effective. Healing Tide Totem, Healing Stream, Cloudburst, Mana Tide, and Spirit Link Totem all cast a free instant chain heal when you summon them. That is insane. That is really, really good. Now, that means you're going to have to probably take Healing Tide and Mana Tide Totem. So you're probably going to get rid of Torrent, I would say, and just go like that. You can do something like that. If you're going to take Mana Tide Totem, you probably might as well just take Spearwalker's Tidal Totem. So you could also drop this for the Riptide healing and go like this. This is probably a build that you're going to be looking at. But again, this is not yet implemented. But look at all the totems you can put down, right? If you drop a Healing Stream Totem, it's going to chain heal somebody. So here's 1 chain heal, 2 chain heals, 3 chain heals. I don't have these talents on my bars. 4 chain heals and 5. Let's just put it over here. We do 4 chain heals and then 5 chain heals. Like 5 free chain heals plus 3 free healing rains. The mana efficiency of Totemic for Resto Shaman is crazy. You're saving so much mana. Chain heal costs 16,000 mana. Healing rain costs 13,000 mana almost. That's a ridiculous amount of mana. You get 5 chain heals if you cast each of these totems once. 5 times 16 is some number, right? I don't know. It's like 75,000 healing or mana is that you're saving. 75,000 mana here and then 40,000 mana here. That's ridiculous. I only have 293,000 mana. I just saved half my mana bar. I just got half my mana bar in healing that I didn't have to pay for. You see how good that is? I'm telling you, that's really, really good. Okay? That's awesome. Your healing spells cause your Healing Stream Totem to heal a nearby ally immediately at 50% effectiveness. Okay, I don't know how this is. Okay, also the Cloudburst could store up to more. That's fine. I don't run Cloudburst. For the Healing Stream side of this, I don't know if this is going to work, but I have a crazy idea here. Healing Stream Totem heals for more each time it ticks. Now, that's very important language. Each time it ticks. I don't know if that's going to include the potential ticks that we're getting from reactivity. Every time you cast a healing spell, Healing Stream Totem will heal a nearby ally. I don't think it's going to count. I don't think it's going to count towards Living Stream, but it might. And then it's like it's ticking multiple times more, which means it's going to be ticking harder, 10% each time. I don't think it's going to work that way, but it could. So there's some potential insane synergy here. Also, Cloudburst Totem getting 25% more healing is awesome. That's awesome. I don't know if it's just a flat 25%. I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I'm not sure how much. There's a limit to how much it stores. I'm not sure what that limit is, but that limit's going to go up by 25%, which is great. Allies affected by Earthen Wall, Ancestral Protector, or Earth Living effect receive 10% increased healing from you. Very cool. Chain heals from your totems are 30% more effective. Yes. Give that to me right now. I get 5 free chain heals just from this talent alone, and then they're going to be 30% more effective. Holy, yeah, let's go. Right? New weapon imbued. Tidecaller's Guard can only be used on shields, increases the healing done by 2%, and then increases the duration of your Healing Stream Totem and Cloudburst. This is really, really good for Healing Stream Totem, again, because it heals for more each time it ticks. We're already increasing the duration of Healing Stream by 3 seconds, and then we're going to get another 3 seconds here with this imbue. So that's 6 seconds, but it's just +3 to whatever the base, whatever it is right now. So right now, it goes for 18 seconds. It's going to now go for 21 seconds. The recharge on Healing Stream Totem is 24 seconds. So like you're going to have permanent uptime on your Healing Stream Totems. And then they're going to be ticking for longer. They're going to be healing people whenever you heal somebody. Like it's outrageous how much healing you're getting here. Or increases the damage and healing of Healing Surge. Okay, so you could buff the Healing Rain that's coming out from your Healing Surge. Okay, finally we have the Whirling... Oh no, I forgot about this one. Sorry. Increases the duration of your Earth Living effect by 6 seconds. That's going to actually matter. I love taking Earth Living, so this is great for me. That's going to matter when we get to Whirling Elements. This is really cool. You get a Water Mote and an Air Mote and an Earth Mote that orbits around the totem, and then when you use an ability, it consumes the mote. Your next Healing Wave or Healing Surge also heals an ally inside your Healing Rain at 100% effectiveness, which is crazy. The cast time of your next spell is reduced by 40%, so you can double dip. You can cast one Healing Surge, and it's going to have a reduced cast time, and it's going to heal somebody in the Healing Rain. Or your Earth one is that your Chain Heal applies Earth Living at 100% effectiveness to all targets hit. That's crazy, right? So, here we go. There's my totem. It's going to cast Healing Rain, or Healing Rain. Watch my Chain Heal. Gonna Chain Heal here. Boom. That applies Earth Living Weapon. It's healing for 150% more than it normally does. That's a lot of Earth Living Weapons. Imagine I have Chain Heal bounces an additional time right here, and I have Unleash Life. So I can actually make this go even harder. Drop my totem again, press Unleash Life, then press my Chain Heal. It's going to hit an additional target. My Chain Heal just hit 2 additional targets for a total of, I think, 6 targets. And then they each got an Earth Living effect for free, like a guaranteed. So that's pretty cool. The last mote that I have here is my Healing Wave. I'm going to cast that. Boom. It just healed a person inside of my Healing Rain. Okay. That's the whole tree. So I think they are both very, very good trees for Resto Shaman. They're actually both incredible. I'm telling you, like, if you want tons of Riptides with a higher chance of proccing Ascendance, essentially, and then a guaranteed mini burst cooldown where you press Unleash Life and then Ancestral Swiftness together, and then you go Chain Heal, like, that's incredible. That's what Farseer can give you. A really, really big mini burst cooldown like that. That's very strong. And then you're just calling Ancestors every once in a while, and they're giving you shields. They're reducing the cooldown of Riptide. Whenever they expire, they have a chance to call another Ancestor. It's giving you extra single target damage with Lava Burst. It's really good. It's just really good. You're saving lots of mana because you can cast Riptide all the time, and you're getting a bunch of free heals from your Ancestors that don't cost anything. That's a massive amount of mana that you're saving, okay, right there, which is really, really good. Or you can go Totemic, which gives you the free Healing Rains that are down all the time. It gives you 5 Chain Heals from your totems when you cast them all. Of course, when you get the cooldown back, you can just do it again. That's free mana right there. This is saving you a bunch of mana and doing a bunch of healing, potentially doing a bunch of Acid Rain damage, but it might be a little bit problematic. We'll have to wait and see. Not entirely sure about that yet. Chain Heal gets to jump additional times, which means it's going to apply additional Earth Living weapons from Whirling Elements, which is really, really good. You get a new weapon imbue that increases all your healing done and extends the duration of your healing stream totems, which makes them, their uptime is going to be like insane 21 seconds while your healing stream totem is down, or of course more healing for your Cloud Burst, which is really, really good. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. There is some CC here with Cap Totem and Poison Cleanse Totem. This stuff isn't as important to me. The radius, the oversized totems is pretty cool. It does make your Healing Rain bigger and your Spirit Link bigger. That is actually pretty cool as well. A little bit of a minor detail there though, but I think both these trees are good. They're really, really good. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you've never played Resto Shaman, I think the War Within, they're going to be turbo busted. I'm telling you, these trees are really good. I've seen a lot of the healing trees right now. This has an incredible amount of power in it, an incredible amount of mana saving in these trees, which is going to be massive. It's always a really big deal at the beginning of an expansion, having mana cost reduction just built into your kit. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love you all. I'm going to continue covering the War Within, so come back for some more videos. Thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.